deep left field. And back, and that ball is gone. Manuel Margot having a huge game. He drove in 2 with a single in the 3rd, and now he homers. Huge night for Manuel Margot and the Padres as they continue to be a tough team to play for the National League Central. Last night, the Padres take game 1 of the series against the Milwaukee Brewers. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Nice win last night for the Padres in game 1 of the series, and some guys had some big offensive nights. Franmil Reyes had a huge night for the Padres.
First thing, let's face it, he's fun to watch, right? He's going to get better defensively, I believe, through time with more reps out in the outfield. But swinging the bat, I think this kid's got a pretty good idea. Let's go back to last year where he built some confidence. Led the minor leagues in home runs and RBIs. Well, he's getting a chance here at the big league level. The one thing that sticks out to me, Donnie, is what we see right here. In El Paso, a lot of his home runs were the opposite way. That home run's the opposite way. I like this hitting here. Down and away, he goes and gets it and pulls it to the pull side. His bat, his barrel, stays through the zone for a long time. He doesn't have a loop in it. And I just think through time, work with Matt Stairs and getting more reps, I think he'll get better at the plate as well. But he's a threat, and we saw it last night.
Always fun when somebody makes their major league debut, especially a pitcher who's pitching great at AAA. Brett Kennedy is that guy tonight for the Padres.
The numbers are mind-boggling. This kid, Kennedy, pitching in the PCL, and Brett's got a great ERA of 2.7. He's 10-0, he's perfect, he has not lost a decision. He's pretty much a 5-inning guy, but what does he have going for him? One thing is, he doesn't light up the radar gun, but that's not a bad thing because he can hit his spots. He's got above average command, he's got an average slider, average changeup. He's not afraid to pound the zone. He's not afraid to pitch to contact as well. So a couple of things here. Good command. If the ball's in play, hopefully good defense. And he gets his first Major League win tonight here in Milwaukee.
Major League debut for Brett Kennedy. Going to be fun to watch tonight here from Milwaukee in game 2 of the series. We'll hear from Brett Kennedy when we return as he prepares for that debut from Miller Park in Milwaukee after this. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, the pet company. and by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. The Padres and Brewers game 2 of the series. Before we get it started, let's check in with Bob Scanlon.
Well, thank you, Don. Last night, the Padres fell behind early, but they used the long ball to power themselves back into an 11-5 victory. Tonight, they'll try to give some offensive support to Brett Kennedy, the youngster making his Major League debut tonight, and he did it by kicking the door, and he put up some unbelievable numbers in AAA and forced the Padres to make room for him on the rotation. Now, you would think he'd be a little bit nervous about making his start tonight, but he seemed a little bit more concerned about making sure he had enough tickets for tonight's ballgame. Brett himself explains.
I think there's going to be a big crowd. I mean, from a little town and little short town in New Jersey, so the flights weren't too bad to Milwaukee, and you know, there's going to be a lot of people coming out. 2 days before I got my call, you know, Trey Winginter's been my roommate for the last 3 years, and it was definitely cool to see him go up, and then getting to, you know, share this experience with him has been awesome. The Padres, you know, they push you, and for me, you know, I started pitching well on every level. They pushed me up and they tested me, and you know, as they tested me, I wanted to show them I could succeed. So yeah, definitely it's been an awesome organization to pitch in so far.
As Brett mentioned, the Padres have been pushing their young talent along. He'll be the 10th pitcher this year to make his Major League debut for the Padres, but they didn't have to push him. He kicked the door in, 10-0 with a 2.72. It is his time, and he gets his opportunity tonight. Miller Park power, that is what the Padres will try to provide him. Last night it was Margot, Reyes, Renfro going deep, Brett Kennedy, Jolis Chassin, Padres, Brewers, coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Padres offense lit up Miller Park as Franmil Reyes ripped the cover off the baseball. While the bullpen managed to cool off Christian Yelich and the Brew Crew. Will the Padres have another explosive night with everyone getting in on the act? Tonight, Brett Kennedy makes his Major League debut for the Padres. Will the rookie respond? Act 2 is next. Yeah, the Padres and the Brewers in the middle game, and it's time now for our Saquon Pick the Stick. Fans, you can decide who you're with. This hashtag I'm with, the last name of the broadcast you think has the best pick. If you're right, you can win a free lunch buffet for 2 at Saquon Casino. Must be 18 or older to win. Had a good night last night, but I had like 13 points last night.
Yeah, not really a lot of movement to make a difference.
So now for our weather report, brought to you by your always sunny Honda dealers of San Diego County. 80 degrees with the westerly breeze at 8 miles per hour. Forecast partly cloudy. There are lots of sunshine above the stadium here. The roof is open for the second straight night. As we check out the Padres starting lineup for Andy Green. San Diego Padres lineup brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Margot, Hosmer, Renfroe, Villanueva, Hedges, Galvis, Reyes, Spangenberg, and Kennedy. Dealing tonight with old friend Jolice Chassin, ready with the first pitch of the ball game. And that's outside for ball one. We're underway. A former Padre opening day starter.
Very familiar with the right-hander. He's got the sinker and slider. Really nasty against the righties and expands the zone with both of those pitches. We'll get a lot of that too if he's on with the two-seam fastball. Had a great year with San Diego last year. We all know that. Double digits in wins with 13. Had a nice ERA under 4 at 3.8 for Jolice.
Coming in with 10 wins on the year so far is Chassin. He is 10-4 with a 3.89 earned run average. 25th start of the year for the right-hander. Big night last night for Margot, who will take a pitch outside. 2-1. Margot getting his 5th home run of the year as part of his big night last night. Hanging curveball that he delivers to the second deck and left. And we'll skip in for ball 3. Any advantage at all for Chassin coming in here, knowing some of these Padres hitters?
I think the ones that he's familiar with, yes, but the rookies, like, I shouldn't say rookies, but, you know, he knows Austin Hedges very well. He threw to him, right? So that should work to an advantage for Chassin. The guessing game will happen. But I'm interested to see how he goes against guys like Margot, like Hunter. Yeah, he's familiar with all these guys. So I think as a pitcher with his stuff, he's got the wipeout slider two-seamer. If he just stays to both sides of the plate, it doesn't matter who's hitting. I think he could be successful.
Fly ball headed towards left center field. Yelich and Kane coming together. It'll be Yelich. Makes the running catch in front of Lorenzo Kane. 1 down.
Take a look at the Brewers defense, and it's brought to you by your San Diego Cadillac dealers. At second base, Travis Shaw. Only 4 starts at second base in 356 career games. At first base, Jesus Aguilar. Shortstop, Orlando Arcia. Mike Moustakas will be at third base behind the plate. Eric Kratz in the outfield left to right. We just saw Yelich, Kane, and Thames.
Yeah, he looks so weird out at second base after watching him for a few years at first base. Played some third base, but at second base, Jonathan Scope has been struggling, and they want that bat in the lineup is what they want. Got to find a way to get Travis Shaw in there, and he is in there again tonight for the Brewers.
Be interesting to see the footwork around the bag on a possible double play with Shaw at second base.
Eric Hosmer batting for the first time tonight. Grounds one right side to Aguilar. Covering is Chassin. 2 down. So two-way here in the first inning, and that'll bring up Hunter Renfroe. Fly on the ground down for Jolice. Renfroe at 241. 10 homers and 33 runs batted in. Sit safely in 5 consecutive games coming in. Home run here last night, going 2 for 6 in the ball game. 2 RBIs. It stands from the right side. Well, it was home run number 10 of the year for Hunter Renfroe, all part of a Padres victory. Game 1 of the series.
This is what I hope not only Hunter Renfroe continues to do, but the rest of the Padre hitters crush mistakes.
To right, Eric Thames makes his way in, running on a slant, makes the catch. It ends the first inning. 1-2-3 first. The Brewers are coming up. Castle squad. It's Christian Yelich leading it off, and in left field with Lorenzo Cain in center field. Mike Moustakas at third base, Jesus Aguilar at first base, Travis Shaw at second base, Eric Thames in right, Eric Kratz does the catching, Orlando Arcia the shortstop, and Jolie Chassin bats out of the 9th spot. Brett Kennedy making his major league debut tonight for the Padres.
And the 24-year-old, you only get one chance at a major league debut. It's brought to you by GMC. The fastball 90 to 93. He's got good life, good spin, average slider and changeup. Control is his game.
Turned 24 on Saturday. Yelich leading it off, and Yelich will pop it up foul off to the left out of play.
It's a nice belated birthday present. A chance to pitch at the big leagues. And I mentioned his control, Donnie. The reason why I say that, at AAA El Paso, 89 in the 3rd innings pitched, 80 strikeouts, and only 23 walks.
Native of Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Yelich with a swing and a miss, down 1-2.
Oh, I heard a big cheer on that swing and miss. He must have a lot of family and friends here in attendance.
11th round pick by the Padres, 2015. 2-2 to Yelich, and of course Christian Yelich became the first strikeout victim at the major league level for Troy Wigginton last night's game in his major league debut. So that was pretty cool. One of the game's best hitters in Christian Yelich, and it's your first strikeout. On the ground right side to Spangenberg, who will go to first for the first out here at the bottom of the 1st inning. Yelich retired. Do you remember your first inning of big league work?
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up.
Didn't go well?
No, I gave up 2 runs before I recorded an out, but thank you very much. Yeah.
But I just meant from a nerve standpoint. I didn't want to bring up bad memories.
The adrenaline was pumping. My mechanics were all out of whack. It took me about an inning or so to really feel comfortable. I'm sure the adrenaline's pumping. But that big first out for Brett is huge right there. Like Wigginton last night, right? He struck out Yelich, league's top hitter. He just retired him, top of the order. Should feel pretty good about himself. Set the tone here.
One down, Lorenzo Cain. Who did you face? Remember what team?
Cincinnati Reds. April 27th, 1984.
It was not the big red machine at the time. No.
Eddie Milner led off the game 4 straight balls.
Down the right field line, but headed foul into the seats.
Now, I can tell already Brett Kennedy is not afraid to challenge these guys. You know, there was a couple pitches to Yelich. They were, off the plate by a lot, but I'm sure the adrenaline's pumping. But I think that first out is huge for any kid making their major league debut.
12th Padre pitcher to make his debut this season. 4th starting pitcher to do so.
And what we saw right there, that last pitch, he's not afraid to do that. Throw the ball inside to the right-handed hitters.
One-two to Cain. On the ground right side and through, well placed into right field, a 1-out single.
And the defense behind the kid making his major league debut, that is Brett Kennedy. Talk about Brett in the minors, 4 errors in 82 career games. So he fields his position quite well. He will be throwing to Austin Hedges on the infield. Hosmer, Spangenberg, Galvis. Villanueva the infield 1st to 3rd. In the outfield left to right, Renfroe, Margot, and Reyes.
1 out, 1 on for Mike Moustakas. Former Royal, now here with the Milwaukee Brewers, part of the additions that they made. And hacking at that first pitch, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So that velocity is a little harder than I think what we anticipated from Kennedy today.
Scouting report I got was 90-93, and we saw 95 earlier.
Major league debut for him. Working from the stretch for the first time with Lorenzo Cain at first base. Held on over there by Hosmer. Padres are shifting on the right side, but keep it tight to the infield. Snapped over to first, and back safely is Lorenzo Cain.
It's all in the footwork right there with Austin Hedges. The snap throw after the pitch. Front door is closed. Lefty, got to throw behind him. Retreating back to the bag on the backhand is Eric Hosmer. Just keeps him a little bit closer on that secondary lead, possibly.
A couple of teammates, Lorenzo Cain and Eric Hosmer, formerly of the Royals. Now you have Moustakis at the plate. It's all Kansas City right now.
Yep. You know who Brett kind of reminds me a little bit like?
Who's that?
His looks and the beard, of course. Tanner Roark from the Washington Nationals.
I got Spencer Dolan.
That's a great call. That's a really good call.
Manager for the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
Go to first.
Could be his big brother.
Yeah. Spencer's brother Jimmy Dolan.
In fact, he would be Spencer's younger brother.
Okay.
Good call.
Good lead at first now for Cain. Fly ball down the left field line. Long run for Galvis. It is going to fall fair. Freddie will pick it up as Cain ends up at third base on a bloop single down the left field line for Mike Moustakis. First and third with one down.
Well, it's kind of a shame because you make a good pitch, you jam Moustakis, and it finds the garden spot just fair down the left field line with the shift. Freddie Galvis is the only guy out there, right? And remember, as a pitcher, once that ball leaves your hand, you become a fielder. Look at what Brett Kennedy's doing. Because of the shift, he's covering third base. Sure, he went to third, no problem, but that's good heads-up play defensively right there. Thinking about playing your position and covering a bag on Brett Kennedy's part.
First and third, one down. Zeus Aguilar coming up. Aguilar with 27 home runs, hit one here last night in game 1 of the series. 79 RBIs and a 273 average. Center fielder Margot towards the left center for him to pull. As he takes ball 1. There it is, Brett Kennedy's first major league jam here. And it comes in the first inning.
Against a pretty darn good hitter as well. He's in the MVP talk with a couple of months in the season left. Aguilar
fouls it back and evens a count of 1-1.
Nothing that a ground ball to one of the middle infielders will take care of. Aguilar's grounded into 10 double plays this year. The leader in that category is Pena with 12 for the Brewers.
Aguilar waves at that pitch. That one really fooled him. 1-2.
Really good slider. Starts off the plate, inside, ends up down and away.
Kept it low.
Yeah. Well, commands his thing.
Aguilar stays alive and fouls it back. Still 1-2. It started with Yelich grounding out to second base. Cain single to right. Moustakis with a bloop single down the left field line, but Cain with good base running went first to third. So the Brewers here with runners at the corners, one down in the first. Aguilar protects the plate, just lifts it foul off to the right on play.
You know, command can go two ways in the strike zone, correct? I'm a firm believer of what Brett Kennedy just did there with 2 strikes. Command of throwing that ball just off the plate, maybe a ball or a ball and a half width to where he has to protect. And that's what we just saw right there on that slider. That's how you get the weak ground ball and possibly get 2.
Kennedy taking his time here. Surveys the situation, finds Cain at third, Moustakis at first. 1-2 pitch. Aguilar will take it high, 2-2.
Well, he will mix it up. That's the scouting report on Brett. Down and away, up and in all quadrants. Does he go? No, he did not.
Close pitch framed there by Hedges. On the ball, full count.
Just off the plate a little bit.
Alan Porter has the plate tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Payoff pitch to Aguilar. Fly ball to right field, sending Reyes back at the wall. It's gone. Well, he didn't look like he got that at all. Just a protected defensive swing, and he takes it out of the yard. Just flipped it out of the yard. It's a 3-run home run, and the Brewers jump out to the 3-0 advantage in the first inning. That's a strong man right there.
Don, you described it perfectly. He just flips this ball the opposite way. It's a breaking ball, all upper body, arms. You put in the strength from the kid. Wow. Wow. You think the ball jumps here?
Unbelievable.
I mean, granted, he's strong. He's a big kid. Upper body and arms. Flipping that ball the opposite way.
Travis Shaw with a healthy hack for strike one. Padres will shift on him as well. Shaw's got 22 home runs on the year. 66 RBIs, 245 average. Go along with the good power numbers. Zips a 94-mile-an-hour fastball in.
How do you bounce back, Brett Kennedy, right?
It's a good question.
That's what it's all about. Hey, erase that one pitch from your mind. You got to realize also you're pitching against a team that's in the race of the Central. This isn't El Paso against, I don't know, Sacramento. It's not El Paso against Des Moines, the I-Cubs. There might be one or two hitters in that lineup that can do some damage. Totally different dynamic he's going to face tonight. How will he react?
Fly ball center field. Margot going back at the track. That ball's off the wall. Or is it gone? That ball's gone. Beyond the wall. Came back. Shaw gets his 23rd of the year. Brewers jumping out to a 4-0 advantage. Second night in a row they've done that.
'94, not a lot of movement and catching too much of the plate, and Shaw puts himself in a really good hitter's position. The foot was down, the hands were back, taking it right back towards the batter's eye.
Darren Ballsy trying to calm down Brett Kennedy here in the first inning.
Yeah, and I think that's all that is, Don. He's not going to throw any mechanical thing in his mind. I mean, there's a lot going on right now in the mind of Brett Kennedy. It happens so quickly, and it can happen at this level.
So 4-0. Brewers on top. Derek Thames coming up here. Again, the Padres in a shift on the right side. Done this against Aguilar. Shaw. Shifts haven't been much of a help here. The ball goes out of the yard as Aguilar's 3-run home run, and then the solo shot to center for Travis Shaw.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, the command is the one thing that Brett Kennedy possesses, right? So can he pitch to the shift?
Fly ball headed towards right center field. Back goes Reyes off the wall. That ball's gone. Back go the Milwaukee Brewers in the first inning, and they take a 5-0 lead. Aguilar, Shaw, and Thames.
Well, there's a reason why the Milwaukee Brewers are number 2 in the National League in the home run category. Arizona Diamondbacks are number 1 in the National League. Wow.
Rick Kratz, 7th member of the Brewers to bat here in the first inning. .228 average. 3 homers, 10 runs batted in. Got the first out of the inning in Christian Yelich. Since then, 2 singles, a 3-run home run, back-to-back solo home runs, 3 home runs in a row. And a grounder back up the middle into center field, a base hit for Kratz. And the beat goes on for the Milwaukee Brewers.
If we take a look at all the hits, with the exception of the Aguilar home run, it was a breaking ball down. A lot of the pitches that have been put in play have caught way too much of the plate, and now we have action in the bullpen.
Yeah, Phil Hughes first up for the Padres out there in the pen. And some more time here. Austin Hedges going out there, and Freddie Galvis joining the conversation. So a couple visits to the mound here for the Padres early. 8th member of the Brewers to bat here in the first inning. Orlando Arcia, the shortstop, did not play in last night's game. Back in there in his starting spot at shortstop, batting 8th. Lines one towards the gap in left center field. Over is Renfro to cut it off. Up to second goes Kratz, first and second with 1 down.
Don, I'm not one, I really dislike it. I really dislike to say back when I played, because it's not about that. But from personal experience, I just want to share this. There's been a lot of situations, especially when I was younger, in a situation like this, to where I'm actually on the mound saying to myself, oh my gosh, these guys are really good. And it just goes to show you what you have to do to try to execute pitches to be successful. Because even if you miss just a little bit, these are the type of hitters that will make you pay.
Well, the Brewers with 3 consecutive home runs in this inning. Last time they were able to do that, May 19th of 2015 against the Tigers. Then it was Braun, Lind, and Ramirez who did it. Tonight it is Aguilar, Shaw, and Thames doing it in the first inning. Chacin showing bunt. We'll take a ball, 1-1. Jalise has 8 hits on the year. Former Padre hitting at .211. No homers and a run batted in.
Remember, we saw quite a bit pulling back and swinging away with Chacin.
Drops it down, a foul ball. And a second time, but he was still in the box. Ninth member of the Brewers to bat here in the first inning. Gets a bunt down. It's a good one. Hedges jumps out there, fires to first. Sacrifice complete. Spangenberg covering. Runners move along on the sacrifice. It goes 2-4. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, remember, these keys were put into the producer and director way before the game started. Just a disclaimer there. Roll out the runs for Kennedy. They did it last night to keep 1 through 3 off the base for Brewers.
Well, the Brewers have batted around here. Yelich grounded out in the first, takes a hack for strike 1.
They got to score to win anyway, right? So last night they were down by 4 in the first inning. The Brewers scored 1 more in the third, and that was it.
Fastball up and in. Yelich grounded out, and things started well for Brett Kennedy. swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Coach coming in, hitting at .323. 12 homers, 59 runs batted in. Yelich tops in the National League. Start the day. And he strikes out. So Kennedy gets his first strikeout, but 5-run score, 3 consecutive home runs in the inning for the Brewers. 5-0 Milwaukee.
Like it was someone scored or hit a home run, or we got the final out of a game, the way they stood up when I was introduced, and kind of caught me off guard a little bit. And so it was a little bit of a warm day, but it had a little bit of San Diego feel in the weather today.
Tune into Fox Sports San Diego on August 13th following Padres live postgame show for the debut of our very special behind-the-scenes journey with Trevor Hoffman during his Hall of Fame weekend in Cooperstown. Spotlight, Trevor Hoffman's Hall of Fame induction debuts August 13th after Padres Live. You don't want to miss it.
Chassin posted a 5-0 advantage as he takes a hill here in the second inning after a 1-2-3 first on 10 pitches. Christian Villanueva leading it off here for the Padres in the second inning. Chassin was roughed up his last time out. Allowed 9 runs, 8 earned, 4 1/3 in a 21-5 loss to the LA Dodgers. He served up 3 home runs himself. This one is popped up right side of the infield. Travis Shaw for the first out of the second inning.
Well, you got to rattle the cage. Rattle the cage of Chassin. At least get 1 this inning. Take your chances that way.
One down in the second, and it brings up Austin Hedges. 243, 8 homers, 24 runs batted in. Batting in the 5 spot tonight for the Padres. .89 ERA for Chassin, identical to his 2017 ERA as a Padre. Line towards right center field. That's in for a base hit for Austin Hedges. Over to play at Lorenzo Cain. Hedges on with 1 out here in the second inning. First base runner to reach for the Padres tonight.
Fought off a 2-seamer up in the zone, and nicely done by Austin Hedges. He wanted it down and away. We've seen Chassin when he was with the Padres. He had really good outings, and then he had some questionable outings where he gave up a lot of hits.
This is the second time that Chassin has faced the Padres this year. His season debut in a Brewers uniform gave up 4 runs in 3 1/3. Ended up in a no decision. That was March 30th. Brewers won that game 8-6. Freddie Galvis batting with 1 out, 1 on, toting the .234 average. 6 homers, 42 runs batted in. Fly ball, right field. Aaron Fame settles underneath. And secures out number 2. So 2 down. Hedges back to first, and Franmil Reyes coming up. Big night last night for Franmil, along with several of the Padres offensively. 8 home runs now for Reyes. Back-to-back games with home runs for Reyes. Game on Sunday at Wrigley Field. Homered here last night. And bats for the first time tonight, batting out of the 7th spot in the Padres order. On the ground to short, handled by Arcia, goes to second for the force out that ends the top of the 2nd inning. Inning and a half done, 5-0 Brewers.
Rehab start too in El Paso, and kind of understood how he likes to attack guys, and definitely keep that in the back of my mind. But he's a guy that can follow the game plan, follow the reports that Darren, myself, and AJ have put together. And when we have the meeting today, we'll definitely make sure he knows how to attack certain hitters, but at the same time trust his stuff and just be himself out there, and hopefully he can just soak it all in.
That's Austin Hedges talking about his experience working with Brett Kennedy. It wasn't just in spring training. He also had an opportunity to catch him during the season down in El Paso. That's important. He knows how Kennedy likes to work. And I think the last comment by Hedges, the most important right there, guys. You have to trust your stuff. He's going to get tested on that right now after giving up 5 runs in the first inning. And of those 7 hits, 5 of them on his fastball. That's his #1 pitch. We'll see if he stays with it in this inning, guys.
All right, Scan. Into the second for him. He threw 40 first inning pitches. Lorenzo Cain, 316. Last 10 games, been hitting very well. Phil Hughes had been up at the tail end of that first inning.
You know, it's another thing. I just saw some disgust on Brett's face there after that pitch. It was clearly a ball.
Grounded softly left side. Villanueva lets it go. Galvis' throw not in time. Too much speed for Lorenzo Cain. Infield hit. 2 for 2 in the game is Cain.
As soon as that ball got by Christian Villanueva, all bets were off. We know how slick and how quick Galvis can be. When this ball went right there, got to the dirt, backhand, no chance. I was going to elaborate on the strike zone. Might be a different strike zone tonight, a tighter strike zone than in a AAA. Every umpire is different. He might throw some pitches that are very, very close. He doesn't get the call tonight. That's another adjustment a pitcher has to make.
And Mike Moustakas now the batter. He shifted the infield and he fouls it off to the left. Moustakas sommering in back-to-back games coming in. Singled his first time up tonight. Let's take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS.
Biggest piece of the pie, 34%. You got each corner with Villanueva and Spansburg covered. Nice changeup by Brett Kennedy.
Ball and 2 strikes to Mike Moustakas. Lorenzo Cain at first. Nobody out here in the Brewers' second inning. Get your game break coming up. The Mets and the Reds. Outfield straight away. Pretty deep here on Moustakas. Bounces in and Hedges. Good block there. Keep it in front of him. And Cain does not advance at first base. Ross and Lyles being claimed on waivers on Sunday. Padres had Brett Kennedy. Trey Winginter made his debut last night. Full count now. Spent 3 years at Fordham, did Kennedy, before the Padres picked him up in the 11th round, 2015. His 50th pitch. Cain goes, and it's grounded foul outside of first. Sharply hit, but foul.
Every time I think of Fordham, 2 great individuals, Vin Scully and Pete Harnish. Pitched at Fordham before he went on to a very, very nice big league career. I'm sure there are other big leaguers that attended Fordham. It's in the Bronx, right?
I believe so.
Fordham?
I'll have to ask Brett Kennedy. I'm sure he knows.
The Rams.
Payoff pitch coming up here to Moustakas. First a throw over and Cain back to the bag. Nothing Brewers as they bat here in the second inning. Lead runner on and checking on him again. Full count. Cain gets that lead again. Held on by Hosmer. Payoff pitch. There goes Cain. Moustakas swings and misses. Throw from Hedges is not in time. Stolen base for Lorenzo Cain. Moustakas does strike out. Second strikeout in the big league for Brett Kennedy. But Cain steals second base.
Pretty good jump and a tough pitch to handle for Austin. He had to be quick. He had to go to his right backhand and then kind of yanks it a little bit shortstop side short up, so Freddie's got to catch it and they go all the way across for the tag, and by that time we know the speed of Cain. He gets into scoring position.
20th stolen base of the year for Cain. First year of his Brewers career in scoring position now with 1 down, and it brings up Jesus Aguilar. There are no easy outs really in this lineup.
You're right, not a lot of breathing room. And how does he go after Aguilar after flipping that ball the opposite way on that breaking ball?
Strike one.
With the heater away. Good location.
Aguilar now, Shaw next. Brewers batting here in the second. Scored 5 times on Brett Kennedy in the first. The home run that Aguilar hit, a 3-run home run. I mean, this thing, I still can't believe it went out. Just kind of reached out and poked it out of the ballpark.
You and me both. Some kind of strong right there.
Looked like 0 effort to get it out of the yard. Incredible. Very strong. Off balance cut there, down 1-2. Baffle. With Reyes over towards the line in right field now. A little bit further over. Long look out at Kane at second. And a liner to left field, a base hit for Aguilar. Kane will be stopped at third, and it's 1st and 3rd here for the Brewers with 1 down in the inning. That is now 9 hits off Brett Kennedy in an inning and a third.
Mislocation on the breaking ball. He threw a really nice one down in the way that he couldn't hold up. This one, well, credit Aguilar as well, because he got to that ball quickly. It was a hanger on the inside part of the plate, but his hands in, pulled that ball to left field.
First and third, 1 down. Travis Shaw coming up. Shaw with a home run. He had one of the 3 consecutive home runs put together by Milwaukee in the first inning. Last 10 games, 308 for Shaw. Now has 23 home runs on the year. Takes strike 1. Inside, snap toward third, and safely back is Kane. Falling over him was Villanueva.
You know, Don, not a bad idea in a game like this when you're trailing by 5. All the focus is on the hitter and pitcher. Why not try to get an out on the bases? Front door's open. Clear throw down to third base. And a little game of twister going on there. Right hand yellow, left foot green. He's safe.
Little kick to the head there.
Yeah.
A knee to the head. First and third, 1 down, 1-1. Zips one inside to Shaw, 93. See the return throw here. Did he throw it off Shaw?
Oh yeah, off his bat.
Off his bat.
That's a live ball. Yeah.
Fly ball, left center field. Renfroe and Margot. It'll be Renfroe makes the catch. Tagging is Kane. Throw is cut off, and the Brewers take a 6-0 lead. Travis Shaw with his second RBI. This one's a sac fly. So 6-0 Milwaukee, 2 down. Aguilar at first base, and it'll bring up Eric Thames. Thames with a home run. Solo shot in the first inning, 16th of the year. Protective elbow gear, bicep gear, got a lot of stuff on. In there for strike 1. Padres trying to go with Kennedy as long as they can here. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Five-run first for Milwaukee. So far, a single run here in the second inning. And off to the 6-0 advantage tonight for the Brewers. Swing and a miss, and Thames strikes out to end the inning. Third strikeout for Kennedy, and the run for the Brewers on top 6-0. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. 6-0. Brewers have the lead here. Jhoulys Chacín back on the hill for his third inning of work. And of course, Spansberg leading it off. Takes the 0-1 for strike two. And it's 0-2. Spansberg, Kennedy, and Margot scheduled to bat. Kennedy has come out on deck here for the Padres. Spansberg getting the start at second base for the Padres tonight.
That's a position that's kind of up in the air. Andy Green giving chances to a few players to try to take hold of that position.
Spansberg, Suaje, Perella, to name a few. To right, Thames is there, makes the catch. And the liner for out number one of the third inning.
Frustrating for a hitter. Good swing from Corey. He squared it up nicely. Top spin, but just happened to be a right fielder by the name of Eric Thames out there to squeeze it for the out.
One down for Brett Kennedy, about to get his first big league at bat.
I say swing hard at the first pitch and just try to square it up. You never know.
Minor's 4 for 29. 38 average as he takes strike one. First time through the order for Chacín tonight. He's given up one hit. Single to Austin Hedges in the second inning. It's been in. 25th pitch for the right-hander. Fouled off. 1-2. Wins a year ago. The Padres finished the year 13-10. His only season spent with San Diego. 3.89 ERA, made 32 starts. Most of his major league career spent with the Colorado Rockies. It was fun to be around last year.
He most certainly was, and he answered the post, right? Took the ball every 5th day.
Yeah, he did. That'll drop in there for strike 3. 2 down. First strikeout for Jhoulys Chacin.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $59.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
2 down on a beautiful night in Milwaukee with the roof open for the 2nd straight game. And Wilmar go, second time up. Time now for our Kia drive to success. And Wilmar go's been very good since July 8th. 455 average to lead in that category.
Stay hot. Remember, we talked about him adjusting his mechanics, his swing with the leg kick and everything in between, and it's paying off. Pretty good company right there. Good layoff right there.
Flat out to left in the 1st inning, getting his 2nd look at Chacin. Inside, almost hit him. We know Chacin's not afraid to pitch inside, although that seemed to be a mistake.
That opens up that slider down and away. He can double up also with that 2-seamer in to try to jam him, or go slider down and away.
Grounder foul. Chacin was the opening day starter for the Padres last year in LA. Did not go well against the Dodgers, you may remember, but it was the opening day starter. Bounce back again to have 13 wins a year ago. 2-2 pitch to Margot. Flared foul off to the right, in behind the Brewers dugout. They're housed on the first base side here at Miller Park.
That last pitch, Chacin had a little bit of a hesitation. He was up at the top of his leg kick. He kind of held it just a little bit. He'll quick pitch you as well. Remember how he used to quick pitch?
Yep.
Just to mix it up, disrupt the timing of the hitter. Hey!
Look out. Up and in, and down goes Margot.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Boy, I hate to see that.
It's right where his face was.
Yeah.
Chacin's hit 10 batters this season. This one fouled off to the right, out of play. It's the most batters of any Brewers pitcher on the year. And almost hit Margot.
You know, if I were a betting guy, I would have to say that would probably lead the league. I mean, that's a lot, I think. Yeah, we could check that. Actually, he's 2nd. Martinez is 11.
Margot reaches out and lifts this to left. Yelich will move back a few steps and make the catch. It ends the inning. A 1-2-3 third for Jhoulys Chacin. A 6-0 Brewers lead.
The shortstop last night, the 7th inning, the ball at the bat of Lorenzo Cain. Look how he gets this ball, slides it from his knee. The one thing that's amazing, the exchange. When the ball hits the glove as is getting rid of it, .83, bang, bang, get rid of it accurately to get the speedy Cain. Tip of the cap to you, Freddie Galvis. Been fun to watch this year. That was a great play last night.
Last of the 3rd inning for the Brewers. 3rd inning, Brett Kennedy's major league career. Eric Kratz leading it off for Milwaukee. Kratz singled to center in the 1st inning. One of 9 Brewers hits with the first 2. Down the left field line, but foul. At the distance, but to the left of the line.
Well, I did a little research on Brett Kennedy, and since he was starting down in El Paso, I wanted to find out how many pitches, the most he's thrown in a start. 109. So right now the next pitch will be 65. So my point is, after giving it the 5 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, hopefully he can settle down, and then you get a good workout, 100 pitches or so. Keep him at 6. We know what happened last night when the Padres kept the Brewers at 5.
Opposite field and caught nicely by Spangenberg. Well, slicing away from Spangenberg, but he gets back there quickly to stride on the outfield grass. For the first out here of the 3rd inning.
Well, quick outs is something that's very important, as this ball is going to slice off of Kratz's bat.
One down in the 3rd brings up Orlando Arcia. Arcia singled to left field in the 1st inning. Getting a second look at Brett Kennedy.
Would be nice to have a 1-2-3 inning right here. 7, 8, 9. Arcia is all about the defense, only hitting .204. Struggling with the bat, but he can pick it at shortstop.
He's been ahead, 13 of 17 first pitch strikes. 1-2 the count. Some of those strike zone have gone out of the yard.
Too fat of a pitch. That's why when I look at first pitch strike ratio, I've said this before, I think it's overrated.
70th pitch is grounded back up the middle into center field. Arcia 2 for 2 in the ball game tonight for the Brewers.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
1 out, 1 on, and Jhoulys Chacín gets his 2nd plate appearance of the night. They're crashing from the corners as he drops the bunt down. Hosmer to Spangenberg covering for out number 2. Sacrifice complete again. 2nd sacrifice laid down in this game by Chacín. 2-4 again. That's 3-4 again.
Sorry, Donnie. I was just going to mention that as a starting pitcher, you're worried about keeping your team in the games and winning ball games essentially. But starting pitchers take a lot of pride to where at the end of the year you could look at the stat sheet and say, you know what, I led the league in sacrifices. A lot of at-bats mean you're staying in games for a long time.
2 down, runner at 2nd, Christian Yelich. In the dirt, blocked, and taken 3rd is Arcia. Hedges blocked it initially and then kind of kicked it up the first base line.
Good secondary lead with the runner at 2nd base. You've got a clear shot, a clear view into home plate. As soon as that ball hits the dirt, you see daylight. Got to go. 390.
90 feet away, Arcia now 2 down here in the 3rd inning. Line down the right field line, foul, out ahead. Yelich 0 for 6 with 3 Ks so far in the series. Fouls it back to the screen. He's not been part of the fun for the Brewers tonight. 0 for 2 in this game. First major league strikeout for Trey Wigginton last night. First major league strikeout for Brett Kennedy tonight. Kennedy has 3 Ks in his appearance so far. At 1 and 2. Yelich will foul back another. Wigginton last night. Good inning of relief for him coming into his first major league ball game, and able to strike out Yelich for his first big league K. Also covering on a ground out. Family loved it. That is mom and dad today. Line to center. Margot is there, makes the catch. Bill of the cap high. They leave RC at third, but lead 6-0. Fourth inning. Time now for the Valley View Casino trivia question of the night.
Love trivia.
Christian Yelich leads the National League in batting average. Named the last Brewers player to win a league batting title. Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia. That's a tough one. Braun ever lead?
I don't think so.
Lorenzo Kane is well over to left center field right now on Eric Hosmer. Yeah, you go back to the Molitor days.
Yeah, I'm going Molitor.
Yeah. Fouled off to the left out of play. There they are, the combination of Hall of Famers.
Bob Uecker did not win a batting title in his playing days.
No.
I haven't seen you this trip. Have you?
I have not. Chopped down the first baseline, foul. 1-2 to Hosmer, followed by Renfroe and Villanueva. Well, he's here. Just hasn't wanted to see you.
Hey, pal, how you doing? What's up, big guy? He's a Brewer, true and true, through and through.
Apparently he has the fourth inning off.
Oh, yeah. That would make sense.
0-2 pitch will miss. Is that going to happen to you at some point where you just kind of take off the innings you want to take off?
No, I'm a team player.
Stroll around the.
No, I'm a team player.
This one fouled off to the left out of play. You know, it's funny because we were just talking to the truck, the producer director who you threw under the bus in the second
I didn't
inning.
throw him under the bus by any means. But go ahead.
There's the Euchre chair there. That's great. Tribute to Bob. They were just saying that you're probably not a team player. So
really?
Suggesting yes. They were arguing whether or not you were. Something about Mud's a team player, but it's Mud's team, I think was a quote.
Okay. Okay.
Something like that,
yeah.
They took exception to the fact you called them out.
Didn't call anybody out.
Seemed unnecessary.
See, here's the deal, folks.
Yeah.
Keys to the game. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm grinding, trying to come up with keys to the game.
Grinding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I come up with these keys and I send them in to our producer, Max Michelag, and our Chiron operator, Bob Zworsdorfer, who does a great job.
Oh, now you're throwing Bob under the bus.
No, that has nothing to do with that.
There the first time around. Wow. Max Michelag.
I text them to them, and then they put them in the graphic form, so it has nothing to do with them. All I'm saying is that I have to give them to them because I don't have the capability of putting them in the Chiron box to put them out.
So you gave it to them before everything happened.
Correct.
What you're trying to say.
Correct. It wasn't their fault. I'm not throwing them under the bus.
I don't know. I think you know you are.
So anywho, that's how that works.
Okay. Well, they don't like you now, just so you know. 2-2 to Eric Hosmer, leading it off here in the 4th inning. Outside for ball 3. Well, it had been 0-2, full count now. 10th pitch of the at bat coming up here for Hosmer. It's been a good one. And he fouls it back. He'll see another.
And Chassin going off speed there. Even though it's 3-2 with a 6-0 lead.
Lined and caught by the second baseman, Travis Shaw. Sharply hit. Chassin wins the battle.
I don't think you can square up a baseball any better than Eric Hosmer did right there. He battled, fouled off. I mean, listen to that sound. Right to the glove of Shaw. Keep swinging it, though.
One down for Hunter Renfroe. Takes the breaking ball for strike 1. Renfroe fly to right in the first. By the shins that time, jumping back out of the way. Only 1 hit so far for the Padres off Chassin in 3 1/3 innings. Chassin looking for his 11th win of the year, coming in at 10-4, 3.89 ERA. Pitch 50 of his outing coming up as he rubs up a new baseball. Tad low, 2-2. On the ground, left side. Moustakas able to get Renfroe 2 down.
That's what happens with Chassin and that slider. You throw it down and away, and you get guys trying to hook that ball, trying to pull it. Heads up left side of the infield.
So 2 down. Christian Villanueva coming up. Popped out to the second baseman in the 2nd inning. Travis Shaw made the catch on Villanueva. 417 average last 7 games. 10 for 24 the breakdown for the Padres third baseman. Foul back to our right. Popped up into shallow right. Thames making his way in, just wandering in. Puts it away for out number 3. A 1-2-3 fourth inning. A 6-0 Brewers lead. Fourth inning. Time now for the answer to tonight's trivia question, brought to you by Valley View Casino. Christian Yelich leads the NL in batting average, named the last Brewers player to win a league batting title. The answer is no Brewer has ever won a batting title. Wow, trick question.
I thought Molitor, he hit 343, I think, in 1987. I thought that might have been a winner, but that's a trick question. We've been had.
Well, we head here to the bottom of the fourth, and Lorenzo Cain leading it off. Cain has singled to right, singled in the infield, 2 for 2 in the ball game. Kennedy hanging around here into the fourth inning now, after a 5-run first and 1-run second. His major league debut. He's allowed 6 runs on 10 hits. Grounder left side, this time Villanueva cuts it off. His throw is high, but Hosmer got the foot on the bag. Some fancy footwork right there by Hosmer, and they're able to get Cain for the first out here in the fourth inning.
Great footwork by the Gold Glover over at first base. Now look at this pitch. I love this. 2-seamer, fastball in, ties him up. Villanueva to his left, flip throw. Now it's way off, and he makes it look so easy. He goes from the left foot, goes over to the right foot on the bag. Nice play all the way around. Nice pitch, nice play.
One down for Mike Moustakas, the recipient of strike 1. Single in the first inning, struck out in the second inning. Padres shift on quite a few of the Milwaukee Brewers, Moustakas being one. Villanueva coming over to the right side. And, well, is he shifting, but he's in the outfield. Popped up. Villanueva running. Look out. Whoa! Collision in left center field. Hunter Renfroe and Christian Villanueva falls in for a hit. Moustakas is at first, but you're talking about 2 big boys colliding in left center field. Both slow to get up, and Villanueva grabbing it is ankle, it looked like. We'll see.
This had nasty written all over it as this ball is elevated to shallow left center field. There. Oh.
First started on the elbow of the wrist.
A lot of knees and elbows flying around right there.
Simon, Mark Rogo, both out there, two Padres trainers. Villanueva appears to be the most banged up of the two. As Renfroe had walked away from the group, and he's now coming back over again. But
you know, we just got done showing that pie chart as well, right, with the majority of the hits. And that's the way they were shaded, because we saw that 34% more towards the second base, right? And that was a ball that it wasn't a good swing. A ball just hit shallow left center field, so a long way for anybody, because that's not the way they were playing the shift.
Villanueva, a nice hand here from the Brewers crowd. Try it out here. A few practice throws here, and the hand seems to be the issue. Says it's okay, going to stay in the game after the collision with Hunter Renfroe.
I'll tell you what, after seeing that collision, it's amazing that both guys are up and continue to play. Could have been much, much worse.
One out, one on. Jesus Aguilar coming up here, 2 for 2 in the game. 3-run home run in the first inning. Solo single in the second inning. So 2 for 2. 82 pitches for Brett Kennedy on the night. 1 out, 1 on. Hosmer holding on Moustakas' very short lead over at first. Padres defensively playing very deeply. Margot in center, Renfroe in left. They're backed up. Power of Aguilar.
And as a base runner, you look at that outfield, there's a little flare. That's perfect first and third situation, because those outfielders have so far to go to get to a jam shot or off the end of the bat to the right side.
Fly ball, deep center field. Margot headed back to the track at the wall. He leaps and makes the grab. Had room where the wall jets out, and he makes the catch in front of it for out number 2. It's a loud out, but it's out number 2.
Aguilar quick to that baseball as Manuel, two-hand grab just to secure it to make sure. He jumps a little early. He had more room to work with. But as Donnie says, it's a result-based business. Doesn't matter how it looks. He got the job done. That's a big out.
2 down, Moustakas remained at first base. There's Travis Shaw. Shaw was part of the back-to-back-to-back trifecta of home runs in the first inning. Shaw, his 23rd home run of the year. Takes it the other way. Playable for Renfroe coming in. Hunter makes the catch. It ends the inning. Big collision out there, but no runs. 6-0 Brewers.
feel a lot better now.
A few butterflies heading in there?
Yeah, a couple, 1 or 2.
How'd you try to control it for yourself? Were you thinking slow down, or what was the trick?
Just breathe. Bach, he had to slow my breathing down almost manually, but that helped a lot. But you know, you can only slow it down so much on your first time out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you went through a weak lineup there either. Your first strikeout, Christian Yelich, not a bad one to lock up for #1.
Definitely won't forget that one, for sure.
Did you get the ball?
Got the ball.
Of course. Where's that ball going?
Probably my mom. Yeah, probably my parents' house.
That's Trey Wingenter, obviously a little fired up after his major league debut last night, and did a great job of closing out that 11-5 Padres victory. He went a scoreless inning, had that strikeout. As he mentioned, Christian Yelich, the ball going to his mom. And guys, we've got to keep one thing in mind, a little bit of a rough first outing for Brett Kennedy tonight, but the fact that Wingenter, his roommate for the last 3 years, is on the team along with other players that he's played with throughout the minor leagues, maybe a little bit helpful to have some friendly faces to talk about it afterwards. Don and Bud, I'm sure you guys can empathize.
That's amazing, though. Pretty cool.
Great story. And you know what, Bob? Just to elaborate, I know the score was 11-5, but there's nothing better for. It was a great situation for Trey to get in there, but to finish a game, I don't care if it's 3-2 or 11-5. When you make that final out and then you meet your catcher and you give congratulations to all the position play, that's a great feeling for the rookie making his major league debut.
Well, his parents went to Chicago first. That's where he first got called up. Didn't pitch in that series. Did get warmed up in the pen like he might. Pitches here last night. Made the trip over here. Nice and close, not too far. On the ground, up the middle, and by the dive, Marcia. Austin Hedges on to begin things here in the 5th inning. He's 2 for 2 in the ball game. That's the only 2 hits. That's interesting. Guy who caught Jolie Chassin all last year. Austin Hedges got the only 2 hits for the Padres tonight against Jolie Chassin.
He knows how the slider acts, the two-seam fastball. I mean, nobody probably knows him better than Austin Hedges, and he's been turning it around tonight.
From the back of Chassin's head, he knows that. You know, this guy knows me real well.
I'm sure it's.
Yeah.
Sure. He's had a nice trip, Austin Hedges.
Here's Freddie.
Hey, Mud, I loved your point about the high fives after the ball game. I'm curious, how long did you just run on adrenaline when you first got called up to the big leagues?
Oh, that's a good question. Came up as a starter. I think that adrenaline, I mean, you always have the adrenaline, but as far as my rookie year, maybe, the first 5-6 starts, then you kind of feel, like you're going to get the ball once every 5 days. So you feel, I'm not saying comfortable, but you have that thought in your mind that, okay, feel comfortable now, still get the adrenaline. Heck, I get adrenaline going on TV every night before the camera goes on, you know?
I agree, but for some guys, there's sort of that moment where you feel like, I belong here, and just you calm down just a little bit. I wonder if that helped him out last night, closing out that ball game and giving the high fives afterwards. If that, maybe one of those moments. Did you have a moment like that?
I did. It was my rookie season in Philadelphia. Got a 3-inning save, and that was a pretty darn good feeling in the vet, the old vet. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
That's funny. Mine was in the vet also.
Nice.
Wow.
Had a situation where I loaded the bases. I think it was my 3rd big league start, and Von Hayes was at the plate, and I came up with the Philly organization, so I was facing all these guys that I had spent the last 7 years of my pro career with.
Right.
And I got him into a 3-2 count. He fouled a couple pitches off, and I was able to drop in a 3-2 backdoor slider to get him looking with the bases juiced, and that was that moment. And he kind of took his helmet off and tipped it to me like, nice pitch, Scan, way to go. And that was sort of that moment where I just felt, you know what, I belong here. I can get it done.
That does wonders for anybody. You're right.
2 on, nobody out. Franmil Reyes standing in. Reyes grounding into a fielder's choice first time up, and now back to Chassin, looking for 2, and he's got it. Aguilar gets back to first quickly ahead of Freddie Galvis. Turns into a double play.
Well, kind of a changeup off the bat of Reyes. He checked second on the fly to first base to Aguilar for the double up.
Hedges remains at second with now 2 down. Like it could be a pretty promising inning here. First 2 reaching, but Reyes lines into the double play, and it brings up Corey Spangenberg. Lined out to right in the third, 0 for 1. Five for 11 last 4 games for Spangenberg. Started second base for him tonight. Second night in a row, in fact. Not often that Andy Green repeats a lineup, but a victory last night.
In fact, I was going to try to find out when the last time that happened. I was filling out my book today, and exact 1 through 8 for the Friars tonight. And why not after winning 11-5?
On the ground, Aguilar can't pick it. It's under his glove. Hedges going to try and score. The throw from Thames is cut off, and the Padres have their first run of the night. So Hedges coming in, and it's now 6-1 Milwaukee. Well, Aguilar is going to make that play at first.
Yeah, I think that's a very makeable play. Let's take another look. 1, 2, 3 hopper. I think it should be an error. I mean, I'm all for guys getting hits, but that's a makeable play.
They have charged an error to Aguilar. So E3, no RBI. Spangenberg aboard at first, and Carlos Suaje pinch hitting here for Brett Kennedy. So that's the night for Kennedy. This one will get away, and Spangenberg heads for second base. Kratz has a long way to go to get it. Fair amount of ground here behind home plate. And to second base goes Spangenberg. Wild pitch. So in the scoring position with 2 down. In there for strike 2. Grab the outside corner. Suaje hitting under 200 at 198. 2 homers and 19 runs batted in. .70 pitches deep right now is Jhoulys Chacin. They're gone. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. The call from home plate umpire Alan Porter. Suaje didn't think so. Second strikeout victim for Chacin. Padres get on the board at 6-1 Milwaukee. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. Back here at Miller Park in Milwaukee, Phil Hughes on the mound for the Padres. He had been warming in the first inning and gets into the game. His 23rd appearance of the year. Here in the 5th. And a fly ball off the bat of Thames to left to Renfroe. Make the catch for the first out of the inning.
Well, a chance for Phil Hughes to go out there and possibly twirl a couple of frames, trying to hold the Brewer lead at 5. Last time out was against the Arizona Diamondbacks back on July 28th. Won an inning. We've usually seen him later in the game. On the road this year in 8 games, over 13 innings of work, a 3.38 ERA for Phil.
Eric Kratz standing in with 1 out. Kratz 1 for 2. Single in the first, lined out to second in the third. So the line on Brett Kennedy in his major league debut, 4 innings, 11 hits, 6 runs, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 3. Allowed 3 home runs, back to back in the first inning. That's a tough start to his major league career in the first inning. Seemed to settle in a little bit as time went on.
And I'm thinking as I look at my scorecard, probably the legs seemed a little heavy. The adrenaline was pumping. Sometimes the mechanics can get out of whack. There's no question about that. Because as each inning went on, 1 run in the second. There was some traffic that inning, and then he settled down in the third and a 1-2-3 in the fourth.
Check swing on a ball in the dirt here.
Check that. Give up a base hit in the 4th inning, but left stranded.
Threw 40 pitches in that first inning.
That's a big key as well.
Fouled back, still 3-2. Thinking it over now. Major league debut is behind him. Payoff pitch from Hughes. Popped up back at first down the right field line. Reyes long run. Here comes Spangenberg. Makes the catch in foul ground. You had Reyes, Spangenberg, Hosmer all pursuing that baseball. But it is Spangenberg, second baseman, in foul ground. Let's hear about number 2. Time now for our San Diego fans of the game. Some Padres fans making their way to Milwaukee. This 3-game series from Miller Park. Orlando Arcia coming up with 2 outs here in the 5th. Foul tip for strike 1. Hughes had made 2 starts while with the Minnesota Twins earlier this year. This is his 17th relief appearance. Under a foul outside of first. A lot of years starting for the New York Yankees. Phil Hughes. Popped up foul, backing out of play. Official score has changed. The error that was charged to Aguilar in the 5th inning. So Spansberg's going to get credit for a base hit and an RBI on the play that Austin Hedges scored on and gave the Padres their first run of the night.
Good for Corey.
1-2. Arcia takes ball 2.
Hits are hard to come by, especially at this level.
Bill Miller, the crew chief. Ball 3, full count. Julie Chassin on deck. Popped up foul off to the right, out of play.
You think the official score takes in consideration how much changes we have to do to our scorebooks after a late change like that?
Don't think he cares, to be honest with you. Fly ball, center field. Margot going back at the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run, batter's eye again. Garcia gets his 3rd of the year. Make it 7-1 Brewers. Bernie Brewer has gone down that slide now 4 times in the game.
Yeah, wearing out those britches going down that slide here in Milwaukee. One thing the Brewers hitters tonight have taken advantage of. Pitches, catching too much of the plate. That's 92 right down the middle. Taking it right back up the middle.
Two down. Chassin grounds it by the mound. Spangenberg is there. And that's out number 3 of the 5th inning. The Brewers add another run. On top 7-1 at the end of 5. Now the Brewers with a 7-1 lead as we head to the 6th inning. Top of the Padres order coming up here to face Jolie Chassin. And Will Margot, Eric Hosmer, Hunter Renfroe scheduled to bat in the inning. Out his first run in the 5th inning after 4 shutout innings to begin his outing.
I think one thing when Chassin was a Padre, remember if he got past that 2nd inning or so and he'd find that release point with that slider and that 2-seamer of his, he could take you 6, maybe into the 7th and find that groove. So it's tough playing catch up and it's tough getting hits off this guy when he finds his groove.
13-game winner last year for the Padres, won 10 so far this year. As a Milwaukee Brewer, 10-4 coming in, 3.89 ERA. It's pretty good.
Really good in a ballpark like this and in a division like this, the Central. There's some ballparks where the ball flies.
Got a 7-1 lead into the 6th inning. Manuel Margot 0 for 2. Done the same thing twice. That's fly out to left. Both times Christian Yelich up to the task out there in left field. Left side, a shift on, and Arcia throws out Margot. Down in the 6th inning. Brings up Eric Hosmer. 0 for 2, has grounded out to first and lined out to second. Had an 11 pitch at bat. 4th inning before lining out to Travis Shaw at second. Padres are being out hit in this game 12-3 by the Brewers. 2 hits for Hedges, a hit now for Spangenberg. The official scoring change last inning. Pitch 75 coming up for Chassin. Renfroe waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the 6th, trailing by 6 runs. That is strike 3-1 at the bottom of the zone. Line the other way for Hosmer, a base hit opposite field. So 1-out single for Hosmer, 4th Padres hit of the night.
High breaking ball about SD high in that jersey, and Eric stays on top of that one and slices it the opposite way. A lot of singles tonight for San Diego. Now the 4th.
Renfroe 0 for 2 is fly to right. Grounded out to third as he takes a look at ball 1. Pitch 80 coming up for Chassin. Renfroe hits one high and deep to left field. Down the line, Yelich looking up, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Hunter Renfroe. And here come the Padres. 2-run shot makes it 7-3. Renfroe has homered at back-to-back nights and picks up his 11th home run of the year.
Hunter got a hangy breaky ball last night. Hit it out. This is a hangy breaky ball. Foot is down, hands are back, out in front, and the ball carries here. That's a no-doubter. That's halfway up the bleachers. The stands, whatever you want to call them. It's high, it's gone, it's far. Good at bat for Hunter. Now the Padres within slam range.
This should be in a wave 0 for 2. Has popped out to second, flied out to right. Still think that slam range is a thing, huh?
Yeah, they're within. Yeah, load them up. One swing, tie it up.
I think it's cool you keep.
You can't hit a 5-run shot,
no,
right?
That's true. That's absolutely true.
If you can, let me know.
Inside out swing. It's fouled off to the right, out of play. Well, the first home run of the night for the Padres. 4 for the Brewers. In the air to left field for Villanueva. Down the line, Yelich, long run into the slide, can't catch it. Villanueva to second base with 1 out. I think Yelich got some glove on that, but can't come up with it. Kind of an adventure in left field from what we've seen here in the first 2 games.
I thought he had this ball on the slide. Let's see how much he had of it. Oh, nope. Maybe just off the glove a little bit. Yep. Then he kicked it.
So a double for Villanueva, and Austin Hedges coming up here. Padres making some noise here all of a sudden in the 6th inning. Hedges has single to center, single to left. This is the start of July. Milwaukee's pen has posted a 5.27 earned run average. And is 26th in Major League Baseball. They're at 3.00 entering July, 4th best in the majors. Not so much sense. Had a tough night as a group last night, the first game of the series.
Yeah, the Padre hitters did very, very well off the hard throwers. Hader, Barnes, 4 runs, 3 earned. They turned them around.
Joaquin Soria is up in the pen for the newcomers to the Brewers. There's a strike, 2-1. Margot grounded out to begin the inning. A single by Hosmer to left. 2-run shot by Renfro to left field. Villanueva with a double, ball that appeared Yelich was going to catch. Chops in there for a strike 2. Renfro is now homered in 3 straight games. Final game of the Cubs series. First 2 games of this Brewers series in Milwaukee. Sprayed foul, 2-2.
Trying to time up with a 91, and he's late on that one after going with the breaky ball. Austin has to be really short and quick right here. Remember, Chacin will throw that slider anytime. We saw it a lot last year. 3-2, he'll flip it up there. 2-2, most certainly right here is a good chance for that pitch.
On the ground towards short, Arcia coming in. Fields and throws in time to get Hedges. On to third goes Villanueva without 2 down. Let's take a look at our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. And a Renfro, 3rd straight game that he is homered. Exit velocity 104 and 6.6 miles per hour, almost 400 feet. Brought the Padres back within slam range. Can't believe I just said that. Freddie Galvis will take strike 1.
It's true, though. Think about it.
No, I know. It's
you get your last.
I know. Grand Slam is 4 runs.
Right.
Yeah. 0-2. A little bit high, 1-2. Popped up foul off to the left. Hangs at 1-2 here to Galvis. Freddie Knight's fly to right and walked. Nothing else. His pitch count going up for Chacin. Villanueva walking lead off third. Justine can see him out of the corner of his eye. Two and two.
Playing on the shallow side in the outfield. Also Yelich in left, Kane in center.
Swing and a miss, and Galvis strikes out to end the inning. Padres get two back in the inning on the two-run home run by Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe able to get his 11th home run of the year. It's now 7-3 Milwaukee as we head to the bottom of the sixth. San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, the pet company. Last half of the sixth inning, Phil Hughes into his second inning of relief. Dealing with the top of the Brewers order. Christian Yelich leading it off here for Milwaukee. Yelich, Kane, and Moustakas. Popped up foul. Off to the left hand, out of play. Play day baseball here tomorrow. Finale of the series. Robbie Erlin will be on the mound tomorrow for the Padres. (11 a.m. start time in San Diego tomorrow. Fly ball, center field. Margot back looking up, and that ball's off the batter's eye. Another home run, make it 5 for Milwaukee on the night. Second allowed by Phil Hughes. Christian Yelich with his 18th of the year. 8-3 Brewers on top.
Going into this game, the league's leading hitter at .323, and you're not going to get away with the 90 right down the middle. Well, this ball changes direction. Ooh, just below the line score. Wow.
Most home runs the Brewers have hit in a game this year. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Tail of the tape, 431 feet on the home run for Christian Yelich. Lorenzo Cain sends one to center. Will stay in the yard. Margot, middle of the cap high. Ground number one. One out for Mike Moustakas. Singled in the first inning, struck out in the third, singled in the fourth inning on the collision in left center field between Renfroe and Villanueva. Both appear to be okay and stayed in the game. Villanueva appeared to take the brunt of the collision out there in left center. Up the middle, but Galvis was shifting in that position. He's got to hurry, and the throw is just in time. Moustakas got down the line very well. And Galvis gets just enough on that throw. 2 down.
I love it when Freddie turns up the dial and knows when he needs to let it go. Even with the little shuffle and the glove tap, he just turns up that dial a little bit to get enough on it. That time he turned it up to 11 because ours goes to 11 to get the runner.
Two down here in the 6th inning. Jesus Aguilar homered in the first inning for the 2nd straight game. Inside out swing and a foul off to the right out of play. Time out for the Bill Howe plays of the game. Brewers went back to back to back in the first inning. Aguilar the other way. Travis Shaw center field. Eric Thames to right center. Back to back to back in the first inning off Kennedy. Strike 3 as Aguilar strikes out. First K for Hughes. Brewers add a run, take an 8-3 lead.
I want a person get on base for the guy up next after me, and you know, let's say Tatis is on first or second. I want to just be able to put the ball in play to get him over, and if it goes over the fence, it goes over. If I hit a double, it hits a double. Just try to put the ball in play.
Well, Josh Naylor, who we saw as a first baseman in the Futures game, past couple of off seasons for the Padres, and last 4 games with San Antonio, 8 hits, hitting at .400. Playing at first base some this year, but more in left field. 109 games on the year. .306 average, 15 home runs. Padres on deck. Josh Naylor, name to remember.
Doesn't seem to affect the offense making that transition to the outfield. You know, you look at the pecking order, right? You start at the big league level. You got to Gold Glover Eric Hosmer over at first base. See how athletic a kid is to move him around the outfield and see what he can do.
Joakim Soria into the game here for the Brewers.
46th game for the right-hander. You see the combined numbers with the White Sox and the Brewers. Pretty good opponent's average at 223. Got a crossfire action from Soria. The breaking ball throws across his body just a little bit. Kind of tough for right-handers.
Jolie Chassim with the first 6 innings. 3 runs on 4 hits. Reyes fouling it back to the screen. 2-2. Six innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. He struck out 3, walked a batter. Through 96 pitches. Departs with an 8-3 lead. A chance for his 11th win of the year for Milwaukee. Puts it off to the bullpen that has been struggling, as we mentioned, through July into August. Soria, the one-time closer. Working here in the 7th inning, bottom third of the Padres order. Strike 3 call. Reyes knew it, takes with him the first strikeout for Soria, 1 down.
There's that crossfire action from the right-hander. Low 3/4. Boy, that release point right in the middle of that batter's box on the right side. It ends up right on the outside corner.
Brings up Corey Spangenberg. Lined out to right in the 3rd. Single in the 5th inning to right field. Picked up an RBI. Robert Stock in the pen for the Padres after 2 innings of relief from Phil Hughes. Hughes touched for 2 solo home runs, 1 for Orlando Arcia, 1 for Christian Yelich. Adding to the Brewers lead on top 8-3. Two and two. Phil Hughes has come out on deck, hit for himself. To second and off the glove of Shaw. By the time he can get it, reaching is Spangenberg at first base. Kind of exploded on him, new to the second base position.
You know, I think that's short enough hop. I think that's a makeable play. I think that's got to be an error. I mean, that was one of those real short hops. Second time coin is in the air for Corey Spangenberg, huh?
It is an error as Hughes will ground this one softly up the middle. Now Shaw, his throw to get Hughes at first base. So 2 down, taking second is Spangenberg. Top of the order coming up in Manuel Margot. Soria gets his second out of relief. Manuel Margot 0 for 3 from the top spot on the Padres order. Slide to left twice and grounded out to short. center field. Kane going back, going to be over his head. Margot headed for second. Coming around from second to score is Spangenberg. And now it's 8-4 as Manuel Margot with a double up over the head of Lorenzo Kane in center. And the Padres pick up their fourth run. It's now 8-4 Milwaukee.
As Don mentioned earlier, the Padre bats did it to the bullpen last night. It's getting late in this ball game. Now the third consecutive frame where they have scored. I really thought Kane may have had a beat on that one, but that ball was smoked. I think he came in initially on that one.
There's Eric Hosmer with 2 down. Time called here. Kratz wants to talk to Soria. And from third comes Moustakas to join the conversation. The Padres with a run in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 1 so far here in the 7th. Well, Margot had a big night last night. It's a double here to drive in a run. It's 8-4. Conference broken up here. Eric Hosmer coming up. Hosmer has grounded out to first, lined out to second, singled to left. One and one to Hosmer. 2 down here in the 7th inning. A run in. Go with a walking lead off second base. Garcia kind of playing right behind him to keep him close to the bag at second.
A good sign for San Diego. That's the first run given up by Soria as a Brewer.
Error didn't help behind him.
No.
Counterclockwise around the mound to return to the top of the hill. Three and one. Renfroe waiting on deck with 2 down here in the 7th inning. Full count now. Swinging through the fastball at 93.
Yeah, that's a challenge right there. 3-1. That's the swing you want to take. Outer third, get extended. Soria got the win there.
Swing and a miss, and Hosmer strikes out. Padres pick up a run at 7th inning stretch, 8-4 Brewers. Get ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. Travis Shaw going to lead it off here in the last of the 7th. Shaw was part of the back-to-back home runs in the first inning for Milwaukee. Shaw, his 23rd home run of the year. They've put together a 5-home run attack in this game. Jesus Aguilar started it with a 3-run home run in the first. Phil Hughes for his 3rd inning of relief, and this one to left, in for a base hit. Leadoff single for Travis Shaw. 2nd hit of the night. Time now for a Harris game summary. Talked about the beginning of this game. How about a 3-run home run for Aguilar? Then Shaw, solo shot as they go back-to-back. Thames will keep it going. Solo shot of his own to right center. Padres able to answer. 2-run home run for Hunter Renfroe. 3rd game in a row that he's homered. His 11th home run of the year. Game 4 of Milwaukee on top right now. Lead runner on in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Eric Thames, 1-for-3. Thames with the home run you saw. Since then has struck out, flied out.
Well, the book on Brett Kennedy before he made his debut, we talked about him, was his command. Hitting the corners. All quadrants of the strike zone. And that was evident that it did not happen in that first inning. Of course, adrenaline, jitters, everything about the major league debut. But remember, they turned it around. And when he missed, they made him pay.
Popped up foul off to the left, out of play. Phil Hughes giving him a home run in the 5th, home run in the 6th. Leadoff single here in the 7th. 3 hits that he's allowed since coming in. So 37 pitches of relief so far. Padres shifting on the right side of the infield, keeping it tight to the infield. A double play a possibility. Check swing foul off to the left, out of play. Popped up, foul off to the left, out of play. Eight runs, 14 hits, an error for Milwaukee. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Padres. Down and in, and a swing and a miss over the top by Thames, who strikes out. 2nd strikeout for Phil Hughes since coming to the game. First out here at the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now the 72nd strikeout for Thames, in a perfect spot for Phil Hughes with that breaking ball down and in.
1 out, 1 on. Aaron Kratz coming up. That's 1-for-3, single back in the 1st inning. Since then has lined down and fouled out. $32,355 on hand for game 2. 32,355 for the 2nd game of this 3-game series from Millard Park in Milwaukee. Oh, 0-2. Foul tip.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I kind of miss County Stadium.
Never had the chance to do a game there.
I liked the intimacy of it. It was a quaint ballpark. Sure, it was old. Landy McDonald here. I mean, Bernie Brewer. I liked his chalet better than Bernie's dugout.
Bernie's had a chance to ride that slide a few times tonight.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss here for Kratz. Back-to-back Ks for Hughes. 2 down in the 7th inning.
Phil going up the ladder with the fastball to Kratz. And that's exactly where Austin Hedges is set up. He goes a little bit higher and the swing and a miss.
So 2 down, runner at first. Orlando Arcia coming up. 3 for 3 in the game. Matches his career high. 16th time. Last time, going to go back to last year, September 30th. Against the Cardinals at St. Louis. Off the glove of Hedges. Blocks it up the first base line. No advance at first for Travis Shaw. Ryan Braun has come out on deck in the pitcher's spot. To get that far, there are 2 outs. There's a pop-up. Catcher Hedges. Austin takes care of business and ends the 7th inning. Played 7, made 4. Brewers on top. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. Back here in Milwaukee as we head into the 8th inning. The pitcher is Jeremy Jeffress into the game. Takes over for Joakim Soria, won an inning and gave up a run. On a Renfroe leading it off. Double switch here has Hernan Perez now in right field. And batting out of the 9 spot. So that's a 9 for Eric Thames, who had been in right.
Well, Jeremy Jeffress has some closer experience back in 2016. He saved 27 games. He's got 4 saves this year, and that's what Craig Counsell has going for him. He's got Knebel. Soria's got closing experience. Jeffress. Hader can close. Got some good arms down there. Jeremy enters his 54th game. Really nice numbers.
This is his second stint for Jeffress with the Brewers. He was a Brewers first-round draft choice, 16th overall in 2006. Various stays with Kansas City, Toronto. It's actually his 3rd tour of duty with Milwaukee, Texas, and then Milwaukee again for a 3rd time. Two. That'll get away. Full count. Line to left. Yelich will play it on a hop, and a leadoff single for Hunter Renfroe starts the 8th inning. His second hit of the game.
Barrel through the zone. Nice level swing. Hey, Hunter choking up a little bit. Shorten up on the backside. After 0 for 2, now 2 for 2. With that home run and now a single.
So lead runner on here, and Hunter Renfroe at first base, and Christian Villanueva the batter. Oh, and 2. A different combination of pitchers we're seeing in tonight's game than we saw last night. Jhoulys Chacín started this game 6 innings, allowing 3 runs. James Soria was charged with a run. Brewers have an 8-4 lead as Villanueva takes a pitch in. Second straight night that the Brewers have had a big first inning, too. They scored 4 times last night. Padres came back to win. Brewers tonight scoring 5 times in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, that was one of the better comebacks last night, especially being down so early. It's tough playing catch up.
Tough one to swallow for Craig Counsell. In a pennant race right now.
Yeah.
That kind of lead early. The day 2.5 back of the Cubs.
You know, Don, you get to the end of September, right? And you think back of the games. Boy, remember that game against the Padres? Maybe you lose by a game, whatever.
The Cubs tonight are losing 9-0 to the Royals. They're in the bottom of the 8th inning in Kansas City. So that's good for Milwaukee. 2-2. And a grounder foul outside of third.
95 with movement on the inner half. That's tough to square up. Well, it looks like Jeremy Jeffress, he pitches angry, doesn't he?
Got an intensity to him.
Yes, he does. You got to love that.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Villanueva. First out of the 8th inning.
What a beautiful pitch. He went right back inside. 95, 2-seam action. Look at the movement here. Ties him up big time.
One on, one out, and it brings up Austin Hedges. short lead at first base for Renfroe, held on over there by Aguilar. 2-hit game so far for Hedges, both singles, one to center, one to left, or grounding out to short in the 6th inning. Oh, and 2. That's nasty.
Yeah, you're looking at 95 with movement, trying to square that up. Then he throws that wrinkle. You see Austin way out in front of it, too. And a breaking ball right here.
Down the line at third and foul.
That ball looks like it kind of took a funny hop. I wonder if that like hit the bag or something. No, before the bag and then foul.
Swing and a miss, and Hedges strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Jeremy Jeffress. 2 down here in the 8th inning. We've been talking about this tight National League Central. And to start the day, the Brewers 2.5 back of the Cubs. Cubs trailing 9-0 tonight in Kansas City. So a win here would put them a 1.5 games back.
You know, you look at that Central, the Cardinals 7 out, right? They got the best record against the Central, 33-25. Is it too late for the Cardinals to claw back? I don't see it happening. I think it's going to be a 2-team race.
Swing and a miss for Galvis, 1-1. Freddie struck out last time up. 20th pitch of the inning coming up for Jeffress. Leadoff single by Renfroe, still at first base. Jeffress would strike out Villanueva and Hedges. Now Galvis grounds one softly to second as Shaw will go to first for the out that ends the inning. Into the bottom of the 8th inning with the Brewers on top 8-4. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sequan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls, only at Jack in the Box for limited time. Well, so on to the bottom of the 8th inning. Trey Wigginter into his second big league game. Back-to-back nights.
Well, familiar grounds out there on that hill. He did extremely well in his major league debut. 1 inning, 1 strikeout. Upper 90 on the fastballs. Good breaking ball. There are his numbers. AAA El Paso.
Swing and a miss for Jonathan Scope, who is pinch hitting here to begin things in the bottom of the 8th inning. Since joining the Brewers, 3 for 25 at the plate. Overall, his numbers between Baltimore and Milwaukee: 17 home runs, 40 RBIs. Strike called, 0-2. He's 7 from Wigginter. Swing and a miss, and Wigginter makes quick work of Jonathan Scope for the first out of the bottom of the 8th.
Here it is at 97. See how far you can hit it. No chance. That's a big kid right there. Country hardball coming at you from the right side.
1 down, Christian Yelich. For 4 in the game. Homered in the 6th inning and sends one deep and far, but foul down the left field line. Home run for Yelich, his 18th of the year, 1 of 5 in this game for Milwaukee. Popped up foul off to the left, out of play. Lorenzo Cain waits on deck. Inside and almost got him. Yelich think you did get him? Well, Porter's saying no.
Really can't tell from that angle.
They're going to challenge. Are the Brewers? Yelich said he was hit with the pitch. Yelich thought it hit him. See if they have an angle that they can see it.
Well, you know, I really love that slooper. Yeah, I'll call it slooper. Slooper slow-mo.
Super slow-mo,
yeah.
I think is what you mean.
Yeah, I like that.
See what we got here.
Yeah, tough to tell.
Can't really see anything.
Yeah.
We got an answer. Not hit by the pitch. They lose their challenge. Wow. So the plate appearance continues. They apparently couldn't see anything either. From the
they had no angles. Yeah, back in Chelsea, right?
Swing and a miss, and Yelich ends up striking out. So back-to-back Ks for Wigginter, 2 down. Nicely done.
Yeah, got Scope with the fastball, breaking ball to Yelich. Perfectly located at 85, below the knees.
2 down brings up Lorenzo Cain. Two-hit night for Cain, a single to right, infield hit to short. He scored 2 runs. 2 for 4 at the plate. Liner to center. Margot almost in his tracks out there. Makes the catch. It ends the 8th inning. We head for the 9th with the Brewers on top 8-4. Series between the Padres and the Milwaukee Brewers. Robbie Erlin will be on the mound, 2-3, 3.34 ERA. Match up against Junior Guerra, 6-7 with a 3.42 ERA. Play day baseball, morning baseball for those of you in San Diego. 11 a.m. start time on Fox Sports San Diego. Now we head on to the 9th inning, and the closer getting some work here. Corey Knebel coming into the game, not a save situation with the Brewers on top by 4, but into the game nevertheless.
Yeah, he's got 14 saves, as you mentioned, Don, and Hader's got 8. You got Jeffers with 4, so it's pretty spread out in that save situation. Soria's got 16, so got 4 runs to work with here for Corey Knebel. More strikeouts than innings pitched. That's always a good sign. And the Padres are in slam range. Load them up, pop one out, tie it up.
Franmil Reyes going to lead it off in the 9th inning. Jonathan Scope also has come into the game at second base after pinch hitting last inning. Take over for Travis Shaw. So Scope now at second. Started last night's game. Oh, been struggling at the plate. 3 for his first 26 in a Brewers uniform. Last night was charged with an error to make things even worse for him. For 3 night tonight for Franmil. Ball 3, 3-1. Padres need some base runners here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, don't get too froggy. Swing at a pitcher's pitch. Multiple base runners. Take a walk, pass it on to the next guy.
Corey Spangenberg waiting on deck for the Padres here in the 9th. Down the right field line, and it's a foul ball. Got a lot of action down there. These youngsters have been busy all night trying to find that baseball. And the youngster finally did. Went back several rows to get that ball.
Yeah.
Full count to Franmil Reyes. Lined into left field for Reyes. Good contact there. And a leadoff single to begin things here in the 9th inning. So sharply hit by Franmil Reyes on a line to left.
Man, he hits the ball hard. Consistently hard. Fastball in off the plate at that at 97. Turn that around, will you? See the barrel of his bat staying through the hitting zone. Very level swing. Even though he brings his hands in a little bit, doesn't get fully extended. That's impressive.
Corey Spangenberg has been aboard twice. Single reached on an error too. He's also his line down. Picked up his 20th RBI of the year. Fouls it back, 1-1. Travis Jankowski has come out on deck for the Padres. Padres dealing with the closer for the Milwaukee Brewers in a non-safe situation. Never know what happens on some of those non-safe situations. I don't know what it is for closers sometimes when they're either just trying to get work or coming in a non-safe situation. Just seems to mess them up a little bit.
And that's one I can't explain. That is a conundrum to me. It has been through the years.
Swing and a miss, and Spangenberg strikes out for the first out of the 9th inning.
Challenger with the fastball. And here's why I have such a problem with trying to figure that one out. The question that you just posed. To me, personally, I can only speak for myself. Isn't every game a big game? When I went out there, me personally, if it was 11-0, 1-0, to me it was like the last game of my career. I can't answer that for closers as far as going out there without it being a safe situation, being a little rocky.
Jankowski batting with 1 out and 1 on. Ball and a strike to Jankowski. On the grass at third, a step is Moustakas now right at the edge. Drops in for strike 2. A single to begin this 9th inning, a strikeout for Spangenberg. Now Jankowski pinch hitting down 1-2. Two and two. Blooped foul ground. Moustakas dives and can't catch him. What a bid by Mike Moustakas. Nice try, just beyond the Padres dugout. Laying it out over there.
This is a great effort by Moustakas. And the fans here in America's Dairyland clap and chant Moose, appreciating that effort.
Two pitch coming up. Close pitch, called a ball.
Let's see how close it was. At the knees, yeah, he got squeezed. That's a good pitch. Pitcher's pitch. Travis gets another chance.
Ball 4, and Jankowski walks. Padres have 2 on now. It's time now for our Carl's Jr. star of the game, Jesus Aguilar. 3-run home run opposite field. Give the Brewers a 3-0 lead in the first inning. Brett Kennedy made his major league debut tonight. So 2 on here, 1 out, and Manuel Margot coming up. Corey Knebel, the closer for the Brewers, giving up a single, a walk, wrapped around a strikeout here in the 9th. Margot doubled to drive in a run in the 7th inning. See if the Padres have some 9th inning magic tonight in Milwaukee. '98 and missing. Strike 1.
And he gets that call off the plate.
Kansas City does hold on to beat the Cubs 9-0. That final tonight from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. So win tonight for the Brewers. They'd be a game and a half back of the Cubs. 1-1 to Margot. Back off Knebel. He'll pick and throw for out number 2 of the 9th inning. Runners move along. Reyes to third. Jankowski to second.
Looks like right off the backside, maybe the right thigh of Knebel. Hey, that's keep it in front of you. You got to charge those.
Reyes at third. Jankowski now at second. 2 down in the 9th. It's up to Eric Hosmer if we are to continue. Hosmer singled back in the 6th inning. Came around to score the 2nd Padres run. A 1-for-4 night for the Padres first baseman. Foul back to the left, out of play. In there for strike 2. What is left of the 32,355 come to their feet to stand as 1 in Milwaukee. Oh-2 to Hosmer. High for ball 1.
Wow, Knebel really reached back and tried to overthrow that one at 97.
Reyes at third. Jankowski at second. 2 down in the 9th inning. Strikes out, that ends the ball game. So Knebel allows 2 base runners, but they don't score as the Padres lose this one 8-4 to the Milwaukee Brewers. They drop game 2 of the series. It's time now for Padres Live. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?